Welcome to This Week in Guns. The show is brought to you by the Firearms Radio Network and Patriot Patch Company. This is the podcast that offers commentary on the latest firearms industry news, information, and buzz. I'm your host, Jake Challen, president of FRN. You make this show possible. That's right. You simply click through our Amazon affiliate link the next time you're shopping online, and a small portion of your sale goes to supporting pro-gun shows like This Week in Guns. We have a great panel this week. We have Baraka James, chairman and president of MASF. Hey, Baraka, how's it going?
Hey, good evening, Jake. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. We have John Patton of the Gun Collective and Patton Media Consulting. Hey, John.
Hi.
We have Ebbs of House of Guns and House of Arms. Hey, Ebbs.
Happy 200, Jacob. Yeah.
That's right.
It's going to be that kind of party, Jake.
200.
Crank it up, Jake.
Matt Walker, first timer. Matt Walker of the Walker Armory. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Jake. Thanks for having me.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. Viewer discretion is advised, especially on live shows. Patriot Patch helps make this episode possible. Check out the Patch of the Month Club. The February Patch of the Month Club is actually shipping as we speak, and there's still actually a few slots left to sign up for the February Patch of the Month Club. New pre-orders up. Make America Badass Again morale patch. Horseshoes and hand grenades. That one's actually in stock. Check out patriotpatch.co. Let's start with some positive news. This is the 200th episode of This Week in Guns.
Nice.
200.
That's awesome.
200
let's get a little clap going. Let's get a little clap going, huh? Let's do that.
Started way back in December 24th, the first episode released of 2012. That was shortly after Sandy Hook.
Like right after, 2 weeks later.
Yeah, a long time ago. And first guest besides the FRN crew was actually that same first episode. The first guest was Dustin Ellerman. John Patton first joined us on episode 33 and has been with us ever since.
Oh
Back
my
then,
God.
he was still known as I'm with Chaos.
Wow. That was a long time ago. Do you remember what the date was? Like roughly?
I could look it up.
Sometime in 2013.
So, yeah, probably, most likely.
Wow. I mean, honestly, dude, that's it. It's been a very, very long time. It's funny because we do this so often now. It just kind of feels like, oh yeah, I'm on the show. Like it's just become a part of all of our lives that all the regulars, and I don't know. It's kind of cool.
Well, and yeah, it is really cool. It's become a part of a lot of the listener lives. I know whenever we miss an episode, everyone's down and feeling bad.
It's always Jake's fault. It's never any of our faults.
Always
never
Jake's fault. So, Ebbs, I guess you looked up your first episode. It was episode 72.
I guess it didn't matter to be in the show notes to begin with, so I wanted to go ahead and add that. Yes, I was on with Adam Peeney and Sam Cummins.
Very cool. Yeah, it was titled House of Rants and Russian Roulette.
Yep.
Was it really?
Yeah, that's what it said. I had medium long hair at the time, and I was still married, so there was a different version of me. And I think there was a lot of shouting in that episode.
There was a lot of shouting in many of the episodes. So you premiered Russian Abs on your first episode?
No. It was about one of the stories we covered. That wasn't Russian Ebbs is only like a year old.
Yeah, Russian Ebbs came out last year.
He's like Zero Foxtrot Ebbs, sort of.
Mm-hmm. Savage Ebbs.
Fan favorite Peter Palma joined us first ever in episode 37. Probably throughout his early This Week in Guns career garnered us the most hate mail. And Peter Palmer is actually returning after a long search and rescue mission looking for Peter. He's coming back next week.
We found him in his zoo, cuddled in the corner with a bunch of kittens.
Actually, we found him in New Orleans, like rifle range from University of Louisiana or wherever.
I actually did get to see Peter Palma in person here in Pennsylvania. A lot of people don't know this, but he and our buddy Nate Murr actually used to live together like years ago, and he was in town for one of Nate's get-togethers, and he walks in the door, and I nearly fell out of my chair. Like, oh my God, Peter Palma is here. It's amazing.
Yeah, if you listen to the show, you may have caught on that he served with Nate Murr in the Marines. So those guys have a lot of history together. Many other guests throughout the year from many of the pro-gun media outlets throughout the world. And 200 episodes, pretty cool. I want to thank all the listeners for tuning in, making this possible. Started with just a handful of listeners, and now just a ton of listeners currently.
Now there's a billion every week.
A billion.
A whole billion. That's a true metric. So advertisers.
No.
The entire country of Myanmar listens.
That may be true.
1 billion.
We are big in Myanmar.
Myanmar.
So weird.
Also Luxembourg.
Oh, and Monaco.
We have had Russian listeners in the past as well.
Yeah, and they ejected as soon as Ebbs made an attempt.
No comment on Ebbs's accent.
Yeah, who is this guy on This Week in Guns?
People really do listen around the world. I've had correspondence written in from the UK, from Australia, from South Africa, all over the place.
I like how you said, like you wanted to make sure it was okay before you said it. South.
Yeah, you looked around like you were about to say something racist.
South Carolina.
You know, there's a lot of white people in South Africa too, Jake.
Oh, that's.
He's never heard of Die Antwood, dude. He doesn't listen.
He doesn't listen to weird music. That's it.
Yes,
I mean, he is from corn country. So, it's not super shocking.
They call them boys hayseeds. Hayseeds.
That's right. For probably about over 100 episodes of that, I had a flying ear of corn behind me in the studio.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, see? It was DeKalb.
that's right. So, all right. In the positive news, let's get into the show. Gun groups cheer at Trump's SCOTUS pick. Originalist Neil Gorsuch. How do you say his name?
Gorsuch. You got peanut butter stuck in the top of your mouth?
Gorsuch. Oh my gosh. Oh,
NRA front and center at Trump's SCOTUS meeting. So what do you guys think? Do you think if this guy gets through onto the Supreme Court, it may be a good thing for gun rights?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I think so.
How much do we know about this guy's past? Are we starting to see some more information on that? So, like, yes, he has a real record of rulings, or does he just come out and said, "Oh yeah, guns are okay"? Like, is he like Joe Biden
on Facebook, which Facebook absolutely has true information all the time. It said that guy started a club in high school, because that matters, called like Fascists Forever or something like that, which I thought was hilarious. What? The Gorsuch, yeah.
The Gogurt guy?
Yeah, the Gogurt.
Okay, Neil Gogurt.
Yeah, some people say he's kind of a mix of Scalia and Roberts, and both Scalia and Roberts are two of the main guys that brought us the last DC Supreme Court and the Chicago Supreme Court decisions that opened up a lot of pro-gun laws across America. So we can hope.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really positive thing. I mean, we're in a time period right now where we kind of don't know what to do with ourselves. We've been fighting for so long,
like on our heels.
yeah, like we've been dug in. Now we have a chance to kind of let the pressure off, just for a little bit, and people, the entire community is kind of not sure how to deal with it.
I agree.
I mean,
100%.
we've seen it. Look at a prime example. Look at the NFA petition.
Yep.
That tells you what's going on right now.
So chill, and like compared to all the shot shows that I went into, except for this one, were in the Obama administration, and
Right.
the atmosphere
Totally different.
was completely. I mean, you talk about relaxed, and maybe I felt like it was a good show. One of the best range days that I'd been to, and it could be because the employees and reps for these companies, maybe everybody was just in a better mood in general. I don't know. But I think that, John, that's a spot on description of we're just all like, huh, so you want to go to the range? I guess.
Yeah.
Or we don't have to go to court. So,
well, it's not even that, guys. I mean, seriously, like when everyone thought that Hillary had a chance of winning, as far as like the reloading guys, they were stocking up on primers, casings, bullets. All the guys I knew were out literally pawning stuff to buy as much ammo as they could, anticipating all the panic buying. I mean, it's really funny. Like everybody went and geared up and spent so much money preparing for the inevitably worst that we thought we were going to face. And now everybody's just like, doesn't know what to do. Like John said, they're just kind of sitting there like, okay, now what do we do?
Yeah, we have 50,000 senior citizens sitting on 170,000 rounds of 22 ammo. And we're like, everyone with kids is begging for them to share or release it.
But when they pass away here in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to have just an influx in the garage sale market.
Jake, you understand that like 55-year-olds are considered senior citizens, right? I don't know. It starts out on 55-year-olds. They have 5 to 10 years left.
Jake's
They're
counting
like,
on that beat.
They're like, that's not even another 200 episodes of Twig.
There are people out there listening right now that are calling you an a-hole from behind the wheel of their vehicle.
Wouldn't be the last time or the first. Could Trump administration lift the floodgates on gun imports? We talked about this a little bit after the show last week. Could Trump lift the restrictions on, namely Russian imports?
Well, so we see all these promises about, and just forgive me for not being up on politics, but can you like with the implants specifically, can you how do you cancel one that was written previously by a president? Because like this is the executive branch, this isn't the legislative branch, so technically it's just not law. It doesn't expire when you leave office. But so like when it comes to the bring-ins with all these weapons, does he just write a new executive order that supersedes the previous one? And at what point is it not so confusing, jumbled mess of like a family tree of laws that nobody knows how to enforce anything anymore?
I honestly, I think there are so many people that are just happy that Obama is out of office, and there's an opportunity to strike back. Like people literally are okay with him doing the same stuff they didn't want Obama doing. And now, there's all this potential for bring-ins in the country from Russia, and it's like, guys, can we not do this? Can we just erase all this stuff about implants? I mean, it's ridiculous.
All right, let's take a moment here before we move on.
Take a moment.
Want to cover? You can watch live every Thursday night on Facebook. We have some Facebook comments here. Baraka, why are you concealing them guns? Where's your cutoffs at?
Oh,
okay.
man.
So let me just tell you a little story about that.
Hashtag real shirt.
Shoulder day.
The story is, for those who are not familiar with the vernacular of young shirts, look it up on the Urban Dictionary. Young means AKA schmedium or painted on. When I went to the agency Arms party at SHOT Show, I reserved a double extra large t-shirt. They gave me this young, again, painted on or schmedium, extra large shirt. But what I had to do was actually stretch the sleeves out when I put it on, but it's kind of, contouring. You see that? It's like,
Wow.
yeah. So
It looks like you have implants of some kind.
Oh, you mean this? Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Hashtag Baraka has boobs. Keep going.
All right,
Keep it going. Keep it going.
you can also watch live over on YouTube every Thursday night, and on YouTube, we have a request to bring back the pick of the week segment. You remember that pick of the
Yeah, I
week?
remember that. I remember when we got rid of it because nobody cared about it too.
I like that. I like doing that. I thought that was cool. Everybody had, and the reason I liked it is because from a panelist perspective, I got to see ideas, or just like everybody has different interests, right? Everybody looks at things from different angles, and so somebody could share something that I would completely miss. And I agree with that, Jake. I think that should come back.
Let's do it tonight. Everybody grab something.
Let's make an executive order, just like the implants from Russia, and we'll get stuff rolling right now.
All right, so watch live every Thursday night around 9 p.m. Central Time on Facebook and YouTube. Both of those spots, look for the Firearms Radio Network pages. All right, let's move on to 6 killed, 8 injured in Canadian mosque shooting. News media was all about this until they found out who the shooter was.
Well, of course, because it doesn't fit the narrative. Like we talk about all the time. If it's not, the media just makes me laugh. I would just wish, what would be refreshing would be a media outlet that actually is not biased and just reports actual news without any curve on it one way or another. Just says, this is it. This is how it happened. Boom, plain and simple. Kind of like the refreshing, speech we had from the new Supreme Court judge. He said, what did he say? If you're always happy with the ruling that you make, you're not doing well by the law. That sometimes you have to make rulings that you don't personally agree with. It's the same thing. Be unbiased. Just put it out there and let people make the judgment.
Well, in addition to that, like Canada, Trudeau jumps in and says, immigrants are welcome.
Right.
And then this happens, and you're like, maybe all of Canada doesn't feel that way.
Also,
There's
this is the
always
second time that Muslims have attacked French people. This time in Canada. Like, I don't understand what it is that's going on in the world right now, but I see a lot of people trying really, really hard to not seem racist, to not seem like. We've created a culture where people are more comfortable trying to look like they don't care, or trying to look like they're tolerant, rather than actually saying they're convincing themselves in their minds that they're tolerant, and therefore will allow things like this to continue to happen. And as far as I'm concerned, the big controversy of Trump putting a stop on people coming in from terrorist countries, not a Muslim ban, as everybody has been calling it. He put a stop to terrorists coming into the country, potential terrorists, even. And these people are coming into every other country. They're now Canada. They've done it in England. They've done it in France. Everywhere, all over Europe, they are losing what made those countries actually function because of these migrants and this plague of locusts that is coming out of the Middle East.
So let me segue off of what John was saying. The media is so bad to the point now that they put all of us regular people at risk. For example, I was watching the news the other night, and there was a sexual assault that happened in Arlington, Virginia. They don't even tell you. They said the description was by height and weight, not race. So who are you supposed to look out for? They're like, they said the assailant was about 5'10", medium build. Okay.
Did you say rice or race? Did you say rice or race?
Race, dude. Okay. Race.
Rice would make sense. So
what I'm saying is, you would at least be able to be on the lookout for the person if they're worried about this guy assaulted someone on a trail where women walk to and fro from work, and he sexually assaulted them, and they're just saying he's 5'10", medium build. What does that do? So you're willing to risk other people's safety even just because you're afraid you're going to look racist by saying he's Hispanic, he's black, he's white.
Feed
Come
the
on,
machine.
Yeah,
They're
everyone.
feeding the machine.
Please call me a giant white ginger. I'm fine with it.
Yes.
Let's prevent confusion between Baraka and I.
Yes,
Please.
and
And
please
in
call
other
me.
news, a ginger yeti can
But you know, the funny thing is the news in Canada is no different than it is here.
right.
It's
Oh,
exactly
seriously? It's the same way?
Pretend like it's not, but it is the same way.
And Trudeau is, I
Wait,
believe,
I gotta stop you. John and said Canada instead of Canada. Is that a thing?
what do you mean?
What are you talking about?
I think
Just
they're
like-
Jake. I think
what are
they're
you talking-
interchangeable.
Jake, come on. Let's okay.
Potato,
That's
potato.
Did I say
Tomato,
Canadian?
I said
Potato,
tomato.
potato, man.
Donald Trump says industry. I say industry. I mean, what's the problem?
I honestly thought I said Canada. I'm sorry.
Canada.
It's
I mean,
Matt's
that's
fault.
nothing- Canadian.
Um,
Canadian.
There you go. Sorry.
Canadian list.
Carry on, John.
The
John,
the real thing here is that
Say like
Justin Trudeau is, as far as I know, one of my good friends is Canadian, and he is really, really not a fan of this guy. And I think it's kind of interesting seeing a Canadian that lives in America now, kind of looking back and going, "This guy is screwing my homeland." And I genuinely believe that Justin Trudeau is a lot like President Obama. He is trying to appease the I don't want to say the left, because I think that's not all encompassing enough. The morons. Does that work? Is that better?
Yes.
Canadian morons.
Lawmaker introduces bill to disband the BLM and Forest Service police forces. And what they would basically do is offload the enforcement functions of these two federal agencies to deputized local police.
What?
I think this makes sense. Get
I
the
do too.
feds
They
out,
totally
have the local
disband
authorities.
Black Lives Matter. We don't want that around anymore. I know, Bureau of Land Management. I just wanted to mess with you, Jay.
Oh.
It's always something with the BM every single time. Like
Bowel
they
movement.
just always something new
Bowel movement. Yes.
coming with them. But like and lately,
Look at Jake's face right now.
every time
Look at his face right now.
Timestamp,
what I'm
timestamp.
trying to say is lately, every time BM is in the news, it's not a good thing.
Jake looks like he's trying to figure out his first multiplication problem.
Happy episode 200.
Oh, amazing.
New Jersey man fights state gun permit law all the way to the Supreme Court, all the while representing himself.
That's pretty bold, dude.
That's interesting.
That takes some balls.
It does. Of steel.
Matt, take it away.
It does. It takes serious bulls.
Bulls.
Bulls, as they say in Mother Russia. Bulls.
No, Matt, do you think you would be able to represent yourself in court like that? I mean, I'm an idiot. I wouldn't.
I tried that once for like a speeding ticket, and it, you know.
I'm sorry, Ossifer.
Yeah. Please don't take me to jail.
So, yeah, I'm curious why he took that route. You know, and the NRA or Second Amendment Foundation had fallen behind him. We'll have to see. So it argues that the New Jersey laws, dating back all the way to 1694, have discriminated against gun ownership based on race, and the remnants of those laws endure today, is what he's arguing. You know, because it's nearly impossible to get a gun permit in New Jersey, and this guy was moving from California, and he called ahead. You know, he's like, "Hey, I'm moving from California. How do I get a gun permit or whatever I need to do to bring my gun with me to New Jersey?" And they were like, "Yeah."
Yeah, you can't really do that. He should have picked a better state to move to, dude.
Right.
Well, where did you move
And
from?
you know it's bad. Yeah, you know it's
California.
bad when you're moving from California to New Jersey.
California stand. The Republic of California stand.
New Jersey stand.
We'll see if
Exactly.
this makes it anywhere, but you know, something's got to break. I mean, with New Jersey, it's just just like California, getting worse and worse.
Well, New Jersey, let me just add something to that, Jake. New Jersey, like especially in Camden, I know a couple of law enforcement officers up there. They said that in between, like, what is it, midnight till 2 a.m., you have a like 85% chance of being mugged. After 2 a.m. till 5 a.m., it's 100% chance in certain parts of the city. And it's just like DC, you know, these are all places that they won't let you conceal and carry, where they're crime-ridden places where people need them.
If I'm an implant in New Jersey and I hear that, I immediately want to test the theory.
You're gonna hang out on the corner for liquor.
Like just out of like curiosity makes it so dangerous, but
hang dollar bills out of the back of your pocket.
Almost impossible to resist. Like 100%.
And breaking news from Camden: a ginger Yeti got murdered.
We're profiling again. We're profiling.
Like,
exactly.
Is it like the weather forecast in New Jersey? At 5 a.m., it looks like 98% chance of being mugged.
95% chance of Chris Christie being fat and awful, and 99% chance of New Jersey being full of awful gun laws.
Well, how rad is it, though, that this guy, Mark Stevens is his name, by the way, an implant from California, now in New Jersey, is headed to the Supreme Court with this by himself? Is that, I don't know, that kind of gets me fired up, and it sort of, if you need like a motivation to do anything or to get off your butt and make it happen, just read the story of this guy with two first names, and he's gonna.
Well, it's almost like a modern day Mr. Smith Goes to Washington in a way. I mean, he's just, you know, fed up, and he's just trying to do the right thing. Florida teens school shooting plot thwarted by fellow students. These students, two students were plotting a Columbine-like school shooting, and apparently other students overheard it, notified a school resource officer, and they tracked these students down, and they were taken into custody, and they both confessed to plotting this mass shooting. And they found firearms at their homes as well. There's really no details on that side of it.
What the timestamp is a resource officer?
Oh, it's a city cop that's quote unquote resourced to the school to be on site or nearby. Some resource officers have several schools, like in a circle type area, and they'll basically patrol specific times during the day. Typically, like they're officers that will volunteer for those positions too, because it can, like, you frequently get crummy assignments, like somebody scratched my car and things like that. But I mean, to have taken part in stunting a attack like this is like the epitome of, if you see something, say something, and kudos to Floridia for that.
But did they check them and search them thoroughly for paycheck stub receipts from George Soros? That's what I want to know.
That's not funny. That does not apply here. I don't think. Maybe it does.
You hope not.
What irritates me is they talk about firearms being uncovered at the home. Like, somebody could come to my house and they would uncover firearms. Right. So like and the fact that it happened in Floridia makes it even more likely that it could have been uncovered there too, because like Floridia man in the news is a constant crazy thing. So
imagine if a liberal opened my office door right now. I mean, there's like a car rack full of guns.
Firearms were uncovered.
That's a poor description.
So right, I have to put you on the spot here, John. Billy on Facebook says, "Hey, John, ginger is not politically correct. It's a pigment deficiency."
Is that right? Is that
how it? That's just a term. That's not like a name for the creature that has the pigment deficiency.
Yeah, he's a ginger.
Dude, look in the mirror, bro.
No, I do every day.
He loves it too.
Pledge your support.
You know who else loves? No.
You can pledge your support for This Week in Guns by going over to firearmsradio.tv/pledge. You can pledge at the Hangout after the show level, where you get to hang out with us every other episode. And you also get the Patriot Patch of the Month Club when you pledge at the Hangout level. firearmsradio.tv/pledge. You can also pledge at for as little as $5 per month to support pro gun shows like This Week in Guns. All right, so let's move on to once seized 80% lowers now up for grabs. We talked about this on this show. The ATF seized these lowers back in 2014. 6,000 of them were impounded.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Dimitri is looking a little rough. That's all I'm going to say.
He's been through some stuff. I'm just going to go out there on record and say these are not worth $75. I've had one that's just like it, and they are junk.
Well,
do not buy them.
AR-15s were not meant to be made from polymer.
No.
Listen, I've got a polymer lower that is fine. These, I've had one of these exact things, and it's junk.
Yeah, that's no good, dude.
That's the original lower that I had on my my stupid gun, the little gun, the bridge gun. I had one of these in bright green, and they have these nubs on the outside that you're meant to drill through. Well, I put it on a drill press, and because of the way they're shaped, the drill bits just walk, and then you end up with pinholes that are crooked. Then because there's no jig or anything like that, you're left to just fend for yourself. And I threw it out.
Well done, John. At least you didn't take a stupid chance like some of these people who end up having them blow up in their faces.
I mean, it ran okay, but the trigger pocket was screwed up because this is it's a $75 piece of plastic that's not designed properly to be worked on. I mean, the idea behind it is great. It's a cool thing. No jig. Great. I love that. The pocket being a different color. That's a great idea. I love that. The execution and the materials chosen for that were not right.
I love how it says on the description on his website, guntraband.com, which I did not know existed prior to reading the show notes for tonight. Below it says, these polymer precursors are intended to be used in the making of crossbows, BB air guns, or AR-15 receivers. Also useful as a flower pot, paperweight, desk ornament, or can be framed and mounted on the wall for a great conversation piece about freedom and liberty, which polymer never makes me think of those things.
Is this Russian Ebbs?
I mean, I don't really know why the ATF's worried about it anyways, because, you know, there's the 80% lowers is one thing. They're all kind of overpriced anyways, these being $75. But with the polymer lower like this, you know, it's going to shoot it 3 times, it's going to break anyway. So why does ATF care?
Did it feel, John, did when you drilled it out and stuff, did the polymer feel like specifically soft?
No, it wasn't that. I honestly think it may have been too firm.
Really?
I don't know, but like I had a bunch of issues getting the holes to be straight. You know, and the material that they used in the pocket is like a waffle weave, and then they mold around it, I think. So it's like locked together.
Waffle weave sounds like a hairdo. Oh, hey,
polymer
waffle weave.
Polymer waffle weave. Late at night when hood rats fight at the Waffle House, you end up with a waffle
weave. That is disgusting.
Polymer waffle weave at Sally's Beauty Supply.
Oh, gross.
All right, moving on. Company has solvent trap line shut down by ATF. SD Tactical Arms of Prescott, Arizona, had their line of solvent traps seized and shut down by the ATF.
Didn't we talk about this last week?
No.
Maybe I'm
talking about
no. That was on We Like Shooting, John.
Okay.
we're cross pollinating.
Opposed
Go ahead,
sting
Matt.
agents at AutoZones everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, this whole thing is ridiculous. The ATF, they love just coming down on people for stupid stuff. Now, to be fair, this first of all, I don't know a single person ever that has ever used a solvent trap, and the ridiculous thing here is that this guy, it's SD Tactical Arms, and he sells muzzle brakes and suppressor parts and solvent faps. And I think that is the most ridiculous part. He's trying to like pretend that this is not the way to make a suppressor.
Right.
Ebs, you look like you're having a stroke over there. You all right, man?
Are you okay there?
Crying.
Oh, that's why.
I don't get it.
I'm lost. That's over my head. You must be tired.
I'm so tired, and I'm tired of this stupid story. It's not a flashlight. It's not a solvent fap. It just is what it is. It could be used as a suppressor.
What'd you call it?
A fap. That's what he's going to go do later in the bathroom.
Yeah.
We're doing here.
So wait a
Into a
second.
solvent trap.
As we're now calling it the solvent fap. You know, what's funny is I've heard a bunch of people talking about how this is now popping up in their Facebook feed from other companies. I mean, so they came down on this company. What are they going to go track down all these others? And why? It's literally just washers and a metal tube creating a solvent fap.
What about the what about the all there's dozens of how-to YouTube solvent fap videos. Are they going to hunt down the makers of those and say you can't put this out there anymore because these are now illegal?
Yeah, tubes are illegal. You can't put them near a gun
with threading.
Veteran lawmakers ask Army why they are not on the polymer mag bandwagon. I think Murr mentioned this last week, maybe it was after the show, but how the Army actually has a ban on the use of PMags or anything else polymer.
Right. Yeah, we did talk about that briefly. He said the Marine Corps picked the PMag, and they're hoping for, I guess, more of that from other branches.
So these two lawmakers have officially penned a letter kind of calling out the branch's top officer, saying, hey, what's the deal here? You know, why are you going so hard in the paint against polymer here? And they're demanding an answer. So it'll be interesting if the military actually responds what their answer is.
Well, the military's so far behind in technology anyways. It's good that with the polymer magazines, it's about time, and the Army needs to catch up. Get on the bandwagon.
Well, he said there's part of the quote here from one of these, I guess, senators, all Republican, Iowa, Johnny Ernst. I'm not sure how he's pronouncing that. Maybe he's a French guy from Iowa. His part of the letter, part of her effort to ensure our warfighters have the best equipment possible, the need to ensure our military doesn't fall behind countries like Russia in providing modern and lethal equipment, specifically as it relates to our rifles and handguns. I think it's really interesting watching some of the older guys in our government system dealing with how fast our country is moving right now. And this is, the polymer magazines are not a new thing. And, to see them try and figure it out, like, oh, that can't be right. It's like it reminds me of the old dudes that hang out in gun stores and talk about AR-15s being assault rifles. That's what it reminds me of.
Get on the bandwagon, guys.
Get on that bandwagon.
Let's talk about the Patriot pin for California AR-15s.
Is this like a safety pin thing? Is that what that is?
It's basically a modification of pin that allows you to.
Oh,
it lets you take it down without taking it down, so that the magazine will release.
Yeah,
that's kind of awesome.
And it sits where the magazine release sits, so you're using the same motion to pop open the gun to drop the mag because of California's stupid restrictions. I don't know. Do you guys think this is a viable workaround?
Well, yeah. What I had seen this company originally, I'd seen a share on Facebook, and it was like the comment that they had with their video sounded like a Hail Hydra kind of thing. like
God.
cut off one head, two will grow back in its place. Well, they were talking about in reference to like create one legislation. We'll find it. We'll come up with 2 tricks to get around your ridiculous law.
Right.
And somebody with an engineer's mind was like, okay, well, if we have to take it down, it's essentially a release. So
you open the
magazine,
gun and
right.
then you push that. So this doesn't allow you to do anything besides remove the clip from the gun.
Right. Well, yeah, the
Some people call it a clip. I call it a magazine.
You know what? Clip
It's
sounds
pronounced
better.
magazine.
If you're from the South, you could say clip. We got this gun loaded up with a 30 round
30 round
clip.
30 round caliber clip.
So we didn't describe the part to the people listening.
No, so what the part does is it's a release. So just as you would release the magazine, you actually release. It's like a rear takedown release, or like
It's a magazine release for your upper.
like a slip cam almost, but it only allows it to lift up like a half inch or a quarter inch or something, so that you can then release the magazine and then just slap it shut, and then it latches shut again, and then put another mag in.
Well, you're basically moving out your rear pin so you can open the upper. And because you have to open your upper to push the mag release, that's basically what you're doing here. It's like a pivot for your rear takedown pin on an AR-15.
Oh, you know what? Because this is, can we use the word clipazine with all magazine related things for California
Actually,
from now on?
Clipazine makes sense.
Clipazine.
Kills 2 birds.
And we will credit the term clipazine to Twig episode 200. And it's immediately set in stone. And
We already that's stolen though. That
Yeah.
clipazine is
Oh, is it? Has it
yeah.
already been out there?
Clipazine is by what is it? Matt V2099 2099.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Rubber Bands, and he had the 600 round Glockazine. So I think clipazine.
Okay.
While it is the best thing ever to call it a clipazine,
it's still it's faded, and I think Matt, because he's a cool dude, he would be okay with us using it.
oh, he would love it. I'm just saying we got to give credit where credit is due. It's his word, his idea, and we're just applying clipazine to we got to come up with a name for California, like
I think
clipazine California. Is that like what we're doing?
Clipifornia.
Clipfornia. Got it.
Magazine.
The best part about this show is that Jake has lost all control.
Belongs to
Instead
us.
of like,
I'm
we're gonna
offended.
call
I'm
it-
offended. No, I'm offended.
taken it
We're to the
away.
I'm
Giving
offended
it
section.
to the
San Diego is henceforth known as
All your
San
base belongs to
Magazine
us.
Town.
We're to the I'm offended section. I'm not necessarily offended here, although I am
You are.
tonight.
It's okay.
The wife of the San Bernardino shooter's friend pleads guilty to a sham marriage, and this is the friend that bought the firearms
Oh boy.
for the shooters.
Straw
Oh, boy.
purchases, yes, which
Oh,
is
boy.
illegal in itself. And they were like, oh, they got the weapons legally to commit that. No, they didn't. It was called a straw purchase, and it is illegal. Okay? Let's
Sure.
facts be facts here.
Turns out he had a Russian mail order bride.
Can't go wrong.
It's bad when you got a Russian mail order bride. Like, nah, bro.
He forced me. It was not my choice. Most people don't understand that
hermaphrodite. I don't
he told me to do. I did, but I was afraid for life. I did straw man purchase.
You got to do it a higher pitch version of that.
I did straw. No, because Russian women. I did not know. Straw man purchase was fine.
You
But
sound like Fiddler on the Roof.
then
Right
I learned illegal.
like bootleg. What's that guy's name? What's the character's main character's name?
Well, the one of the
Like from Fiddler on the Roof. What's the main guy's name?
Facebook, help us. Fiddler on the Roof characters.
I know Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Howdle.
Why do you know Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Because I grew up in the 80s.
Tevya? Is it Tevya? Is that right? Is that a thing?
Tevya is yes. Is Facebook letting us down, Jake? Are you
You're
paying
welcome,
attention to this?
Internet.
Can we call a friend? What is it called? Finger
So-
friend. Finger
So,
friend.
Enrique Iglesias married Tevya from Fiddler on the Roof, and it was a fake
Why-
marriage.
Why I can have only daughters? I do not understand.
Enrique Marquez and Maria Chernobyl. I can't pronounce her last name, but it looks a little bit like Chernobyl. Starts with
Chernobyl.
Yeah, so really, this is just more of the same nonsense that we all kind of assumed, that none of this was fair play, none of this was legal.
We're going to call the woman who was the mail order bride Zeidel, because that was the oldest daughter from Fiddler on the Roof.
Zeidel? That sounds like an instrument. Like, I'm just going to go play my Zeidel. It's like a weird shaped xylophone.
Some call it a Kaiser blade. I call it a sling blade.
Yeah. I'm going to go play my Zeidel. See?
It's not my fault. I am the old man bride.
Facebook is saying they never seen it, and someone says just call them Boris and Natasha.
A bunch of uncultured savages.
Right, we can do Boris and Natasha, but they are uncultured, and I am disappointed.
Boris.
But I like the name Natasha. She knows how to put down much vodka. Vodka.
All right, way too many stories to cover this week. You can check out the show notes after the show post tomorrow on firearmsradio.tv.
Go click it and see what things we called correctly.
Absolutely. And Amazon, you can contribute to the Firearms Radio Network and This Week in Guns by shopping our Amazon affiliate link by clicking the Amazon banners on the website. You can also bookmark firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. We go to the full auto news segment, the stories the real media won't talk about and other crazy stuff. Each of the hosts picks a story to call their own here. Braca, you're good to go.
Yes, I'm good to go. So we have an awesome non-law abiding citizen in Maui in Paradise, aka drug-infested Hawaii, who used a mango picker to steal guns from a storage unit. So this inventive druggie decided to go and use a mango picker to steal a total of 4 handguns and 2 rifles. He used that, then traded the rifles for drugs, kept another rifle for himself, gave their 2 remaining handguns to an accomplice who also traded them for drugs, and was busted.
And this just further proves the point that guns are a valuable commodity to trade with.
Extremely.
Because, if you want some crack, you can just trade guns. Now, I want to know what the actual timestamp a mango picker is and looks like. I've never seen a mango picker. Like they say it like it's commonplace, but there's no picture of what a mango picker is. That like one of those like old people grabby claw things?
It's like a potato shovel.
Well, hold on. It's like a football bat. Come on.
It's like an onion straw.
So, Ebs, I just gotta ask you one question, Ebs.
Sing it, bro.
Does this shirt make my arms look small? I just want to.
Oh my God! Stop it!
All right, thank you.
The rest of tonight, bro, McLarge huge over
here. All right, Matt, what do you got?
I've got a story over here on guns.com. It's from Mark III SMLE on YouTube, and it's just how to make combustible paper cartridges. I thought it was kind of cool. I've got a soft spot for some old stuff. I've actually got a Remington 1858 as well as what he shoots in here in this video. It's just kind of more period correct way to load these, the way that they would have loaded these back in the day, using combustible paper cartridges. Back in the day, they used a nitrided paper. He's using some hair rolling paper and some toilet paper, and basically you can glue it together. And it's just kind of interesting. It's all black powder reloading stuff.
So I want to try and understand this. So is there powder inside the paper, and that's like a mini cartridge? That's how to contain the powder and make it easier to load.
Correct. So yeah, it's a percussion cap revolver, and you take basically a dowel the size of the cylinder, and you're gonna put a little bit of a tape on it, and basically make a cone or the size of a cylinder out of this tissue paper or the hair roller paper, whatever, and then that is filled with black powder. The ball goes on top of that. Everything's glued together, so you have one tiny little compact powder ball and everything. So you drop that down in the cylinder, ram it home, put a cap on the end, and it's ready to fire. rather than dumping in the powder and then putting the ball on top of it separately.
So
It's
is
all
that
a
something that
ready-made
a
cartridge.
lot of people assume is done, like just pouring like just powder with nothing else?
Well, you can do it that way. A lot of people do it that way. A more popular way to do it. It kind of takes forever to make these because you got to cut out all the paper. You got to glue everything together. If you got some time, I usually make them before I go to the range. But it makes the reloading when you're actually shooting it a lot quicker. Just something different to do with it too.
Wouldn't there be some kind of business in this, like making the paper or like for specific guns? Like, wouldn't there be like some kind of relevance in that?
I don't think there's enough people that are into this old black powder stuff to make a business out of it. It's more a homegrown hobby type thing.
Well, if you market it, there's sales for everything.
Sure.
For the
Get the
for
word
like
out.
the Civil War, like the breech loader rifles, I think there's a market. I think you can buy those paper shells. Because I back in the day, I did a little bit Civil War reenacting, and that's.
Oh my God, you did not.
I've
How
got
put
one
that in
question
there
for
like
you.
it wasn't
I've got one
weird?
question for
How
you.
are you even surprised?
North or south? That's all I want to know.
When I was looking at old show notes
Thank
and
you.
I was looking at Jake back in the day, quote unquote, he was like mustache only.
Well, now we know
So-
why.
Oh.
I just thought he was doing porn back then. Okay.
No, he's a mailman.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
He was straight up Super Troopers mustache. You were Norm.
That's right.
You were Norm from Cheers. You snuck it in on us.
Well,
Anyways.
Ebbs, now we know why he doesn't know who Coleon Noir is. And
Honestly,
Mhm.
this type of thing, like what we're talking about here, these little like capsules, so to speak, like paper capsules of black powder. I think this kind of stuff is super cool. I never really take the time to like get into it, like go out and get all this stuff myself because it's a mess to clean and I'm super lazy with the cleaning. And I think it would be a lot of fun to try it. You know what I mean? I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, black powder's a lot of fun. It takes a ton of time to clean up afterwards, but it's just different.
I hate cleaning guns.
And
You know what I did
do
was
too.
just like I just take the hose and
Yeah.
like for first step just to flush out all the black powder, and
Just get a big tub of like windshield washer fluid and just throw the gun in there.
I do the same thing like when I shoot the spam can corrosive ammo. Just hose it out, baby.
Same with hot soapy water and just scrub it out in the sink.
Hey Matt, can you say hot soapy water lower and slower?
Ooh, hot
Soapy water.
water. Listen
Oh,
out
that's it.
over.
All
Jake
right,
used to put his guns in hot soapy. All right.
Yeah.
This is awesome. This
Go.
is a girl who her name's Alyssa Elkins from Ohio. She's 16 years old and she has leukemia. Terminal
That's depressing.
terminal leukemia. At that weight, it gets better.
Oh no.
She had a dream of wanting to tase someone and thought it looked cool from the movies. She probably saw the scene from Meet the Fockers when Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro got tased on the side of the road. And great flop on those, by the way. And the local police department set up a huge demo like in-house for her to do this, and one of the sergeants volunteered to get hit with the taser, and then her uncle did too, so she got to do it twice and then felt super guilty about it because she was like, I hurt them. But pretty cool. And if I would ever hear about that, if I knew a kid around that lived close to me that was a dream, I'd be like, yeah, you could tase me.
all right.
Tase
Well,
me.
there's two things on this story. So the headline is teen cancer patient tases cop as part of a bucket list. So
Right.
I'm looking at this the first time and it's like,
Yeah.
that's my bucket list. I want to tase a cop.
Yeah,
You
no.
know?
It's in a
And then the
controlled
other thing down
environment.
here is down there, the quote is, I don't like inflicting pain on people. I didn't know it was going to be that painful, really, is what she had said. I'm like, well, then why is that on your bucket list?
Well, listen, Matt, a 16-year-old girl has zero contemplation of 50,000 volts.
Yeah, totally. Dude. How could she possibly understand that?
I just thought it was funny.
How can she slap? How can she slap?
Don't tase me, bro.
That's an internet joke for everybody that doesn't know.
I don't
How
know.
can she slap? Look it up. How can she slap? You will thank me later.
All right, John.
Catch me outside. How about that?
I already hate you. So then we're just going to talk about something simple. This is a picture of the day on the Firearm blog, and it's of a cutaway Osprey 45 attached to a Glock 20, but also cut away. So basically, it's a really cool look at the inside of both guns, both in the barrel, in the firing, like the action of the gun, into the magazine, and then of course into the suppressor. I've actually handled this exact gun at SHOT Show a few years ago when they used to pimp it, and it's really cool. I think a lot of people don't realize how suppressors actually work with the Nielsen device, or the booster piston, as some people call it. So what actually happens when you fire a tilting action or Browning action gun, if you leave a lot of weight on the end of that muzzle, the gun won't function properly. So what this Nielsen device does is it allows the weight of the suppressor to be separate from the movement of the handgun. And what you'll actually see is when the gun recoils, you'll see the suppressor actually look like it moves forward on this spring, and then come into everything will obviously cycle and come into battery. But initially, because the gun is going backwards so quickly, if you had that extra weight on there, it wouldn't function. So it's cool to see that. And of course, the Osprey is really neat because it's a monocore design and has these like wacky baffles that were at the time just completely revolutionary along with the shape. So it's cool. I like it a lot. What do you guys think? Have you ever like gotten into these cutaway guns? I love this crap.
It's cool.
Yeah,
I like the
Looks like
pump
it'd go
shot-
well
the
with
pump
the
shot
F1 firearms.
All the lightning cuts. The other thing that's I used to see was like old training guns, like military training guns, like the giant ones that had cutaways. You know, like 6 feet long M1 Garands. Have you ever seen those things?
Mhm.
They're super cool. That's all I have.
All right.
Bye.
Man leaves casino to rob bank, returns to gamble some more. So this guy was gambling at the casino, and
I'm surprised he's not from Florida.
he ran out of money.
Florida.
Ran out of money, put a
Florida.
$25 chip on the table to hold a spot, drove to the Charleston bank, handed the teller a note stating he had a bomb and a weapon, and he walked out with $5,000 cash, returned to the casino, and gambled away a large amount of stolen money.
That's awesome, dude.
Acting on a tip, the police found him later at home. He said, and I quote, yeah, most of the day was a blur. I took a lot of drugs. He also said he must have saw himself on the news. He also said when he saw the images of the bank surveillance video, I knew it was me. So, and he also admitted to having a gambling problem.
He looks like
He
an
should just stick with
extra.
robbing banks. He's better at robbing banks than he is gambling,
No
apparently.
doubt, dude. Shipping it all back to the house, man.
He's like a bootleg Joe Pesci stunt double.
Bootleg anything is priceless gold. Oh,
All right. Any after round?
I'm looking at this 50 BMG
yeah.
that I feel like I saw recently.
It's
Ebbs,
been-
did we see this gun at SHOT Show?
No, you're thinking of that that lethal Magnum gun that we saw at the Macmillan
With the
release.
I mean, this thing is
That the
So-
35 pound King of the 2 mile rifle.
so this guns.com article, dig this custom 50 BMG crafted by a student gunsmith. So I don't know how many people out there understand what student gunsmiths actually get into a lot of times. They have projects where they literally have to like make a stock, put a rifle together, all this sort of stuff. And this guy decided to do a breech loading 50 BMG. And it's got what appears to be the sway bar off a monster truck as a barrel, and a soda can with holes in it for a brake.
Soda pop.
And that's size wise. The stock is absolutely beautiful. It's handcrafted. It has a really nice high. I guess it's not really a Monte Carlo. It's like a modified Monte Carlo with the inside on the other side of the cheek rest kind of carved out for the action. Then some recoil absorption on the butt plate and what appears to be an Atlas bipod on this thing. It's pretty rad. I think it would probably be a lot of fun to shoot.
We call that there hillbilly engineering.
I don't know, man. The gun school in Trinidad is pretty well renowned for the Smiths that they put out every year. So,
I love the fact that there's still young guys that want to do this.
yeah, there's one in Lakewood too, east part of Denver, that's pretty solid as well.
Not to mention our awesome friend Sarah Westerman's younger brother, who just opened up his own gunsmithing shop in Michigan.
I think you said Westerman.
Westerman, yes, that is correct.
I think you meant
Westman.
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 It's like Floridia.
That's what I said.
But from now
Like
on,
tomato.
from
It's
now
like
on,
the magazine.
Polymer.
okay.
All right.
It's industry and industry.
Any other picks?
No, I'm good.
All right. If you want to check out the show notes, here's another story about man admits to robbing bank to get away from the wife. Pledge your support for this show by going to firearmsradio.tv/pledge. You can pledge at the hangout level to hang out with us after the show every other episode. Also, get a free Patch of the Month subscription with that from Patriot Patch. Head on over to firearmsradio.tv/pledge. You can also pledge for as little as $5 a month to support pro gun radio like This Week in Guns. Patriot Patch Company helps make this episode possible. Check out the Patch of the Month Club. Still a few enrollment slots open for the February Patch of the Month Club. Have some new pre-orders up. Have 22 LR head stamp patch, 12 gauge head stamp patch, and I believe a 5.7 head stamp patch over at patriotpatch.co. Well, this is the part of the show where we see what these guys are up to and where you can connect with them online.
Hold
John,
on, Jake.
what's up?
Jake.
Jake.
So first of all, congratulations on 200 episodes.
Thank you.
You know, I think this is significant. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but we've been messing with you all night on purpose. And we do it because, you know, it's amazing. And, you know, we genuinely do have fun. Let's for the people that are still listening, we've got a list of all the things that we chose to do this. I don't know.
You want to alternate the delivery here with Matt?
Yeah, hold on a second. Let's just make sure if the person that's helping us on the back end is okay with us saying that he was involved.
He's okay.
Wait,
okay.
what are you talking about?
He'll be
So
fine.
we've been conspiring against you this entire episode.
Relax, bro. Relax.
Hey,
let
I
it
can
happen.
bring this
Just
to
let it
the
happen.
ground.
Just
I
relax.
can
Breathe in
bring it to the
deeply. Let it
ground at
happen.
any time.
Breathe it. Breathe in deep. Let it happen. Just let it happen.
All right, so he says send it. Sean Heron from We Like Shooting has been he immediately, as soon as the episode started, he goes, "How can we mess with Jake?" And so there's a list here, and Ebbs, if you want to start off the list and tell him which words.
So
were
the
what.
first one for Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch was Gogurt. And then I'll take this next one and
right.
we'll move on to John. Imports from Russia, specifically related to the sanctions we were speculating whether or not Trump would remove, we used as implants and bring-ins.
Dude,
So-
you hammered the implants too.
I destroyed the
Hammered 'em.
implants. Yeah, I carried that over to the New Jersey story.
You almost
had-
popped them.
We we had people on YouTube saying, "Did he say implants?"
Yes. Yes, he absolutely
Yeah,
did.
I did.
All right. So after that, we had Canada. That was a subtle
Canada
move to a
was
subtle
awesome.
strategy because you were catching on. And then BLM became BM because LOL poop
Right.
jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then Matt, what were a couple of the other ones?
We had Jersey as Joyzy and Floridia, obviously.
Florida. Mhm.
And then rather than thwarted, we had stunted.
And then we circle back around and we had
Polymor.
Polymer.
Polymor. Yeah. That was
Polymer.
awesome.
What was the other one, Eb? The
Uh,
one after.
For instead of solvent trap, it was solvent fap.
Salt
Yes,
and Fap.
that was awesome.
And then we had Wandbaggin.
Instead of bandwagon.
Wandbaggin. And Matt, what was the last one?
And we had the clip.
Clipazine.
The clipazine.
We
That
managed to
hurt.
shove that one right down your throat. And,
We just
you-
we
you,
went away with it and went blatant with it after that one.
Yeah, we went bold. It was a new strategy, and I think it worked.
I liked it.
I think it worked. But no,
All right.
you know,
I hate
I
all
think
of
it was
you.
fun. What'd you say?
Love
You
you,
say
Jake.
you hate us?
We love you, Jake.
Oh,
Yeah, you're welcome
hate
for
us?
donating our
Love
time
you.
for free all the
love you.
time.
Oh, you guys haven't been getting that direct deposit like me?
Baraka, don't you dare!
So you can
I'm gonna put
quit your-
sleeves back on your shirts.
My bad.
Well, okay, Sean Heron. I know where you live.
Oh.
Do
No,
you
it's fun,
actually?
man. It's fun. You know, for the people out there watching, you know, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching and listening for what's literally been years. You know, 200 episodes is really substantial, and you know, as much as we can't all be here all the time, but when we are here, we do enjoy it and we do make the best of it, and it's been a fun ride.
Absolutely. And yeah, really want to thank you guys personally, Baraka, Abs, John, Matt, everyone else that's always coming on the show week after week after week. You guys
It's a
make all the
pleasure,
difference.
It really is a pleasure, brother. I mean, seriously, pleasure and honor to spend time with you guys like
Are
this.
you messing with me again, Baraka?
No, not at all.
He went deep voice. It was serious.
Like potted meat.
Not that.
Ugh. Sound like a drain talking.
Sounded like a drain talking. Wow.
It's not like haha funny.
Write that down though.
Yeah, see? That's like the sound that comes out of a drain when you're flushing food or something.
I like the way he talks.
I think you should call a plumber, dude.
Girl.
That's not what my drain sounds like.
It only happens in Florida. Matt, what's up and where can people connect with you online and what you've been up to in the gun world?
A very, very small YouTube channel that I post every once in a while whenever I find something that I think is funny, that I can do something different there, and Facebook and Instagram, all is Walker Armory. That's about it.
Very cool. What
I
you been
appreciate
up to?
you.
Shoot
I appreciate
some,
you letting me.
shoot some matches and stuff, or what do you?
Yeah, I've been shooting a lot more matches lately. USPSA and IDPA, and getting back into that some more. Found a couple other guys down here in the area, and we've been hitting up some of the local club matches pretty hard.
IDPA, don't you need like a closet full of fishing vests for that?
That's right. That's right. And,
You know it's not right, dude.
It's true.
It's not right.
Somebody on Facebook is asking if we're doing the pick of the week.
Oh yeah, we could do the pick of the week. Do you have a pick of the week, Matt? Something gear gadget that you want to talk about? Could be a gun too.
I got one.
put me on the spot. Yeah, go ahead.
Baraka,
absolutely put you
tell
on
us
the spot.
where people can connect with you online, what you've been up to, and share your pick of the week.
Okay, so my pick of the week is my awesome Glock 17 here. I just got back from ATI Guns. You see notice the cheese grater on the top and the side with my S3F threaded and fluted barrel, my Agency Arms trigger, my Raven awesomeness here, and I just love this gun. It's so nice. And it carries 18 rounds. And then here you have the Pterodactyl Plus extension with 22 rounds. So with the extra mag, you're carrying a total of 40 rounds, enough to take over a small country or hold off a small horde if you go to Mother Russia. Anyway, as far as connecting with me, that would be masf.co, not .com. And we are currently in the fundraising process trying to raise money for our charity so that we can help give financial scholarships to people who cannot afford gun safety education and training. We just wrapped up our first gun raffle, and believe it or not, of all places for someone to win that super modified Glock, it was a guy in Chicago. I just thought the irony of that was kind of funny, but congratulations to him. He'll have that gun out to him next week. And I thank all of you that played, and we appreciate the support and the help. And as always, it's a pleasure to be on the show, Jake. I really appreciate, again, being here, and it's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Brock. I appreciate it. Abs, what's up? Where can people connect and your pick of the week?
Well, I have nothing nearly as nice to say about you as Baraka does. Dude, I'm proud of you, and way to stick with it. It's rare in media, especially amateur going pro, that this is able to happen. So very cool. Good on you. I'm gonna break it up. Like, I found this product the other day online, and I think it was a clickbait thing, and I just got it in, but it's called, I don't even have them down here because I didn't know we were doing this segment, but it's really simple. It's called Ticket, T-I-K-I-T, theticket.com, T-I-K-I-T, and it's a seatbelt alarm silencer.
You bought one of those things?
Yeah, it's amazing. So a couple things. First of all, the driver's side seatbelt in my Jeep is broke, and so because it's a Chrysler, it dings and dings and dings and dings. So I got that to put in rather than fix the seatbelt naturally. And so that shut it up. And it's a super rad bottle opener too. The other thing is in my Nissan, in my car, my dog rides in the front seat with me frequently. So I don't buckle the dog in. Sorry if that offends you. But the the car thinks there's someone in the seat. And so it dings and dings and dings to buckle her in. If I buckle her in, she has a conniption fit, and then we have an accident. So I put that on the passenger side for when the dog rides with me, and shuts up. It's awesome. Fits perfect in all seatbelts and works well as a little like bottle opener that you carry in your wallet too.
So please tell me you bought the camouflage tickets.
I didn't know they had those when I bought it. I bought like the 2-pack of just the chrome one, which was like $9.
You're a disappointment to the family. Get out.
I feel like this is less disappointing than other things I've done.
So
Hashtag shot show.
I didn't look at this, but I'm picturing it's like you went to the junkyard and cut off a piece of a seatbelt with.
That's kind of what it looks like.
No, actually, it looks like a giant. It looks like a giant soda can tab.
Yeah,
Soda.
That's a good way to describe it as well.
Say soda.
Sody pop.
Pop.
Sody,
Like a CPA. Pop.
Sody pop.
Aren't you glad you brought this segment back, Jake? Oh, you can also connect with me specifically on Instagram at House of Guns, Haus of Guns. House of Arms Facebook is picking up. We do a lot of giveaways, product giveaways, and if you're interested in learning about super rad takes on single shot rifles, Thompson Center rifles, we are House of Arms on Facebook, and that's my dad and I. And doing some cool gunsmithing work projects. Have some cool new stuff coming up with that is going to be highlighted and premiered on the House of Guns media channels too. So going to be using that a little bit more as a stream to draw attention to the business and stuff we have going on there.
And you can find him on Tinder at Sexy Redhead Ebbs.
That's the worst profile name.
Ginger Yeti.
Anybody. That's not my name.
That's not my name.
All right, John, what's up? Where can people connect and your pick of the week?
So I don't want to connect with anybody ever again.
Well, at least our protection.
No, again, thanks to everybody out there listening and watching. You know, the amount of you that have come up and said hello to all of us at various events that we've been to has been way more than I ever imagined. So I appreciate all of you out there actually giving a crap about what we're doing. If you want to connect with me, you can find me on the Gun Collective everywhere on the internets. The other thing is I will be at the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania on the February 11th and 12th with Whitey and Matt DeVito. They're coming into town here in Pennsylvania. We're going to be doing some stuff for TGC and Four Guys Guns. And yeah, if you're in the area, if you're anywhere near Harrisburg, thinking about coming to the show, come hang out. Kraut will be there as well. My pick of the week, since we had to grab stuff that was close, So we were walking. Ebbs and I were walking around SHOT Show, and a gentleman that runs a awesome company walked up and he handed me something. So this is called a Cell Vault XL. It's by a company called Theorem. They're most well known for here. You know what? I have one of them sitting over here. A tail cap for a flashlight. So it's basically like a little pocket clip as well as a place to put your fingers, so you can activate the flashlight by pressing it against your hand using your thumb.
Nice.
So that's a cool product. But this is really neat. They have the Cell Vault, which is literally designed to carry batteries around because when you're running CR123s and stuff, that can be a pain to find, especially if something goes dead when you don't want it to. So this is meant to be carried around to hold on to that. But this is a double wide version of that. Basically, it can hold. Let me just 6 CR123s or two 18-650s, I guess. So it's actually 2 18-650s, 8 AAAs, 4 AAs, all of that in one. I'm not sure the packaging is a little confusing, but the point is it's a little plastic case. For those of you watching, you can kind of see there is a divider in there. It's meant to hold batteries, but it is sealed with a little gasket, so it's waterproof. You can close that up. It locks nice and tight. There's spots for like a lanyard or putting it on your pocket or whatever you want to do here. But I think things like this get overlooked pretty often, because one of those things, like if you're on the range and something dies or whatever, you need batteries, your vape dies if you're one of those douche flute guys.
Likes to suck.
You may need that. So I think this is a cool product. I have no idea what they go for cost wise, but yeah, check out Theorem, THYRM.
Very cool. Matt, did you find something?
Yeah, I was actually should have thought about this. It's right behind me. I got a Lee Classic turret press, the deluxe kit, actually this afternoon, and just kind of set it up on the bench and have been depriming brass and stuff all afternoon. So shooting more matches, I'm shooting more ammo, and it's getting more expensive. So I'm going to start reloading more seriously. So I bought a turret press rather than my sitting for a while.
Can you move to the side so I can see that press for a second? And it froze. Oh, I have one of those. I've had one of those for that was the first press I bought. Those things are fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad for the price. It was like $220, $230 or something. And it's pretty much got everything that you need to do with it. Not as nice as some and way nicer than a lot of others, though. But it's a great kit from what I see so far on it. So
I got one sitting right over here, 4 feet away from me, too, right on the bench, dude.
Awesome. Yeah, I just set it up this afternoon.
They're bulletproof too.
So one of the things I picked up on with that is buying different heads to leave your calibers set up and dialed in.
Already did that.
That's such a cool thing, and they're super easy to change.
Yeah, I bought an extra turret so I can do a 9 and a 40 and leave everything set up so I don't have to mess with it. Because that's kind of why I haven't done a whole lot with the single stage, is because every single time I change a stage, I have to reset the heads and redo everything. And read everything. This way I can just plug and play and keep on going.
That's fantastic. I love mine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jake, I have one more thing to add before we wrap. I just want to, officially declare what we did as Shawnanigans.
Episode 200 of Twig is episode 1 of Shawnanigans.
Yeah. Well, Sean did launch a new program this week.
Double tap.
Yeah, the double tap on We Like Shooting.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So yeah, apparently he's taking over this show as well. So
that sounded so depressing. Wow. Good, glad things are going so well.
And on episode 201, Jake murders himself.
Live on Facebook. Oh, Facebook couldn't handle that.
All right. Yeah, I got that same press too, Matt. That's a good press. So
Jake, you reload?
I haven't for a long time, but yeah, I did a lot at one time.
Okay. All right.
And I've got the different heads for the different calibers and everything. I even reloaded 30 carbine on it, which was something a little different.
Really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
That was a lot of fun.
That's a great cartridge.
Did you shoot the M1 a lot, or was it for an AMC or whatever that was?
It was for an M1. I actually shot a 3-gun match with an M1 one time.
Wow.
And
The gun you're thinking of, Ebs, AMT,
AMT,
Automag.
Yeah, the Automag, which are super fun, by the way, too.
Yeah, they're fun.
yeah, I never did figure out the powder for that load because it was the smokiest rounds I ever loaded. It was like a smoke show on the range.
So things
Smoke
we
show
learned,
and
we
load.
relearned about Jake today. Jake is a total nerd and did reenactments. Yes, if you are doing reenactments, you are
You
a
are a
huge
nerd.
nerd.
Yes, you
And
are.
that's okay.
Worse than Dune fans.
and Jake used to reload, and now he's too busy
Prepper.
rolling in YouTube money.
Prepper.
YouTube money.
Yeah, that YouTube money.
Yeah, because we have like what 1,000 subscribers or something.
Jake,
so, yeah.
didn't you get the memo that each one is worth $10 billion? Internet dollars.
I did not.
You're internet rich, dude. That's all that matters.
So my pick of the week. May have talked about this a long time ago, but if you're looking for an American-made, U.S.-made flashlight that is virtually indestructible, you can check out the Elzetta line of flashlights. They're modular. You can put different tail caps on them, different heads on them to achieve whatever you're looking for. You can put pressure switch tail caps on them. Highly durable, pretty much indestructible. Made in the USA, top to bottom, even the batteries. If you're looking for something completely reliable, maybe you're in law enforcement or the military, check out the Elzetta line of flashlights.
Do they work with Chinese batteries if you replace them later?
And they're Chinese batteries.
They will. They take CR 123. So.
Jake, you said they would do whatever I'm looking for, and I'm looking for Nirvana. I'm looking to achieve Nirvana. Will that flashlight help me achieve Nirvana?
Possibly.
Also Wookin' Panub in all the wrong places. That is an Eddie Murphy as Buckwheat reference.
Panub in all the wrong places.
See? Wookin' Panub. Episode 200, everybody.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
200. Hercules.
What a train wreck.
Leave your feedback by commenting on the bottom of the YouTube video or the bottom of the show notes or on the Facebook video. You can send all your hate mail to Sean at welikeshooting.com. You can leave your feedback on iTunes by leaving us a review. Contribute to the show using the Amazon affiliate link. And yeah, just one more time, just really wanted to tell all the listeners how much we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for 200 episodes or for watching videos online or however you consume the show. Really appreciate it. Couldn't do this without you. Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Hey, Jake. Thank you.
Thank you, Ebs.
You're welcome, buddy.
Thank you, Baraka.
It's my pleasure.
And thank you, Matt.
I appreciate the opportunity to jump on the We Like Shooting bandwagon and taking part of shenanigans.
Sean is crying because that's his real email address. Hate mail away, everybody. 200.
Yay.
That's a wrap. We'll
Go to
see
porn
you
sites
next
and
week.
subscribe to them on that email too. Thank you.